Tennis, like many other games, is greatly influenced by the position of the players. However, we're not going to look at the changing positions made to gain an advantage over one's opponent, which is a part of what we call tactics, but rather see the positions we ought to take up to make it as easy as possible to put into practice what we've already learnt. First, the position for the service. The position on the baseline from which it's usually best to serve is just to one side of the centre. Of course, Dan Maskell doesn't usually serve double faults, but he shows us again where to stand for the service. About a foot or two to one side of the centre mark. But we don't stand near the centre when we come to receive the service. The reason why the best position is across to one side is quite simple. From the service position, if the ball is to land in the service court, its direction must lie within this area. So here is the best place to stand to cover all possible directions. The best place to stand for receiving the service, then, is here, about a foot behind the baseline and 2 or 3 feet in from the sideline. For a second service, move forward a foot or two, as it's usually weaker and falls shorter than the first. Directly you've played the ball, move quickly to the centre behind the baseline. After every stroke, try to return to the centre from where you can cover both sides of the court equally well. If you run forward, you're going to need to know how to volley, that is, playing the ball before it bounces. This is the stroke to make. Notice how this time the racket head doesn't swing, but is punched at the ball. Let's watch the racket head as Dan shows us what this punching action looks like in practice. Not a swinging movement, but a punch. And how about the backhand? Again, it's exactly the same. Ken Rosewell shows us that the volley is a simple enough shot if we're on the alert and move into the right position quickly. Watch his feet, like a lightweight boxer, always returning square to the net between each stroke. As he punches the racket head into the ball with the wrist braced, notice how he angles the face of the racket upwards to lift the ball over the net. In a game, you'll have to be ready to play backhand or forehand volleys in quick succession. And if your opponent tries to lob the ball over your head, you may have the chance of a smash, which has exactly the same action as the service. Look again at Ken Rosewell practicing the smash. See how he positions himself slightly sideways and with his wrist loose throws the racket head at the ball. A successful volleyer at the net can have a great advantage over his opponent. If you're going to try for a volleying shot, remember that you must get quickly into the right position. That is, right up to within 6 or 7 feet of the net, astride or just by the centre line. If you're not going to be right up at the net to volley, then stay well back. Remember that it's a lot easier to run forward than back. The one place which you should try to avoid is the danger area that lies between the two. Here you'll be awkwardly placed to play the ball, so it's no place to be caught dithering about. Obviously the ball will land near your feet in the danger area, where it's difficult to play. But don't feel despondent about failing to return the ball when you're caught out like this. You're liable to see the same thing happen from time to time with experienced players, and even with Wimbledon veterans. But if they find it difficult to play in that position, you certainly should make it a rule that when you go forward to volley, go right forward. Otherwise, stay right back and try not to be caught between the two. A word of warning. If you do go forward, be ready for the lob out of reach over your head. to which the only answer is to run for all you're worth. Now let's ask Dan Maskell to have a final word with us.
I've shown you how to play the forehand and the backhand, the service and the smash, the forehand volley and the backhand volley. So now you have all the basic shots which will enable you to start getting real enjoyment from the game. The more you practice the points we've covered, the better you'll get. The better you get at tennis, the more fun you'll have. So practice as much as possible.
Hitting the ball up against a wall is an excellent way to improve your tennis. Any wall will do, provided it's away from traffic and there are no windows to break. So why not find out if there is anywhere suitable near your home or school? But above all, remembering what you've been shown, get out onto the court and have a go. No one is expecting you to play brilliant tennis at this stage. Some of you will show a natural aptitude, others will find it a bit hard going. But if you persevere a little now, you can be certain of one thing. Later on, quite apart from the healthy enjoyment you'll get from a vigorous game, you'll begin to realize all the other advantages that will come your way, and you'll be very pleased that you learned to play lawn tennis.